What is going on, everyone? Sinful Pocket Monster here, bringing you another glorious day of some Pokemon Air Facts. It's finally here, folks. Past few days we've been talking about thick and thin stamps. Today we are finishing up with just some different variations, and then we are on to something else. So to start things off, we have the Pikachu Ghost, or the Phantom stamped card. This stamp is very interesting to me. It's said to be an exclusive within the Pikachu Shadowless cards, and it's believed that maybe one or two sheets slipped through production while printing and were later used for the non-first edition Shadowless print run. The part about this that makes it so interesting to me, because if you notice with the letters, it is actually believed that there were steps to printing the stamp, and this was one of the steps. It is believed that this step in the process was used to make sure the first edition stamp itself was aligned, but obviously with us having 3D stamps, it did not go the way they planned. Next up, we have the black back imprinted stamp, and these I've mentioned before when talking about thick gray 3D stamps, but I just kind of want to focus on it and just talk about it. So the way these are formed, it is believed that this came from sheets being stacked on top of each other without the first edition stamp drying completely. So the reason I brought up black stamps is because now we can talk about white back imprinted stamps. And these are interesting because the person who found these actually opened a first edition Shadowless base set box of Pokemon cards. And at first he made the assumption that this white stamp came to be because the black ink that didn't dry completely acted as glue, and rather than just smearing on the back of this card, it took off the paint on the cardboard and is now just showing the cardboard at the very back of the card. However, when inspecting the Pikachu card that was underneath this one, he couldn't find any evidence that supported that theory, so he doesn't believe that to be true. So the answer to this error remains a mystery even today. Next up, I'm going to mention real quick so I don't use it as filler later on in life, is the D edition Butterfree from Jungle. The one looks like a D. Pretty common knowledge. I feel like a lot of people know about this. Let's move on. Last up on our list for today, we have the first edition Japanese stamps, and I only want to mention these for folks who may not have seen it, and to also mention that I could not find any errors with these. They made sure these were perfect stamps every single time. It is good to note though, there are 3 different size first edition Japanese stamps, so if you ever see one that just looks smaller or bigger, it was intentional. Last thing I wanted to talk about today is just a friendly word of advice. When buying a first edition stamped card that's, let's say, over $80, please feel free to go lower. It is always smart to take a picture and just go ahead and post it and ask on Reddit. There are real cards with fake stamps on them, so even if it's just to check a seller's reaction, do not be afraid to put it in the air that you want to take a picture and see what people say on Reddit. Thank you so much for watching. Happy hunting!